WEFM is SVG.
Activated Mornings on WEFM 99.9 is on now.
Explicit, boy.
And we're back with good news to talk about some good things from the parade. Good news. Oh my goodness. Wow. So listen to me. Folks, I have something amazing. I wish I could tell you right now, but I promise you by next week, I'm going to tell you something amazing. Roleza will be proud. Next week for that.
Roleza and the listeners waiting to hear this, right?
It's either if you don't, you have to wait till next week. I might tell you Friday. I might tell you, but we can see. If I ain't tell you Friday, then I will tell you Monday. But you will more than likely see it before Monday. But if not, then we talk about it Monday. I know I talk like I talking in parables. But
we can see it, or we gonna hear it?
Hair.
Oh, okay.
Hair and see.
All right.
Hair and see. Yes.
All right, listeners.
Yes.
So we have this to look forward to from the great Dianna.
Yeah,
right?
wait, me girl, not this morning. Hold on, let me give you one thing, man. We month ain't done yet. I had one from last week. I really wanted to give you and a back. I find it back now. But what does it mean in Vincy Creole when we say you're wrong and strong? What it mean when we say somebody wrong and strong? That's the one this morning. That's the one we're gonna work with. Wrong.
Every Vincy should be able to get this one.
Yes.
Every Vincy.
Yes. Wrong. She Roleza, she wrong and strong.
I've heard this before.
Yes, many times. I've heard it many times.
All right. Somebody here on your WhatsApp is saying, good morning. It was great to hear and see a young child singing the national anthem of the ROC. That was a great welcome to the Minister of Foreign Affairs of the ROC, Go Vincy. The Lady Archibald did a super job singing our national anthem. All right, so they're making reference to Hannah Archibald, who sang our national anthem, and Faith Grant, is her surname, right?
Mm-hmm.
Faith Grant sang the anthem for the ROC. Hi, caller, good morning.
Yes, good morning to everybody.
Morning.
I just want to answer that. But she asked what it means, wrong and strong. It means you're wrong in the things that you are doing. And you're trying to show the person the point where they're going wrong. But they want to be feel they're right with it. They're wrong, but they're strong in it that feel is the right way. You understand?
Yeah.
Feel is the right. I right, man. I right. I know what I'm saying. I do the right thing,
Mm-hmm.
and the right thing I do, and nobody can stop me. And so that's why we come down and say, man, you're wrong and you're strong. Like if you get in a fight, and you're the one who caused the fight, and also, so somebody come and say, explain and say, well, this is what happened. Flip on go say, man, the girl right to hate you, man. The boy right to do what you have to do with you. No, you cannot be wrong and stay be strong, because the boss might do something terrible to your life, and now you want to get a justice. You understand me? When you're wrong.
Mm-hmm. All right. Thanks, caller.
You understand? Bye-bye.
We do. All right. Thanks.
All right, thank you.
All
right. So I understand what the caller is saying. I want to hear another person explain. She's right there, but I want to hear another person give us another explanation, and then I will tell her how it go. But while we wait on that, we going into the goodies. Now, I know you know about some of the goodies, and some was read in the news this morning from the Independence Parade that the Prime Minister announced. I want to start with the ambassadors. So he announced 4 sporting ambassadors and 1 cultural ambassador and a sporting ambassador. Of course, our girl Shafika. Shafika, wake up yourself wherever you are this morning. Shafika Maloney is one of our, we expected her and we were not disappointed with that one at all. Right? So Shafika Maloney is a sporting ambassador. Jomel Warrican Fitzgerald, John Hines King, and Olex Anderson. Those 4 are sporting ambassadors, and Alvon Ali Cadogan is the cultural ambassador. For sports, I wanna stick a pin on this particular section before I move on. For sports, is there anybody you was expecting and you didn't see?
Not really.
I saw some persons were not fully pleased. They thought that some other persons should have been given sporting ambassadors as well. I don't know how long the process takes between giving the advice on who should be appointed to this or who should be appointed to that. I don't know how long the process takes, getting the information to present at Independence. But I was very disappointed to see that Daki was not named a cultural ambassador.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I don't know if it is that the time the name's been done gone up and that or something. I don't know, but I was very disappointed to see that again. He was not given.
I suppose we would need to find out what the process is for somebody. Because is it a case where citizens are, let's say you submit your suggestions to, I don't know, Ministry of Culture. I don't know who. Submitted to a particular entity for consideration. What is the process? Or is it just left to, I don't know, cabinet or whoever? I really don't know what the process is for persons being nominated or even being awarded that title of whether it's sporting or cultural ambassadors. So I'd ask somebody about it. Hi, caller. Good morning.
Yes, me again. Quickly, I was looking forward, I might be wrong, for this guy, I know he's funny, but Cain, who was up to the Olympic with
Alex
Maloney.
Alex Jude. No, you're talking about the runner or the swimmer?
Handel
Roban.
That's what you meant?
His father is the accountant for, they call it for Musty.
Okay, so Alex Joachim is a swimmer.
Yeah, okay.
Right, he's a swimmer. So you were looking forward to him? I was looking forward
that he will be part.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. All right, well, I guess this is the thing, right? This is because if you have to leave it to many of us, we're not going to form the same opinions of who should be nominated.
Yeah.
So I suppose it's to know what the process is and what it's determined, how it is determined in terms of who gets awarded. Is it for years of excellence? Is it maybe an accomplishment within a particular time frame? What is it? Because I don't know. I really don't know, right? And
it's a mystery, but we will find out. We will find out about that, and then we'll definitely come back here and talk about it. All right, now let me see the next set of goodies that we're gonna discuss. Let's see which one to give you first. Oh, hold on. Let's start with their page 1. So the Prime Minister announced 5% additional tax-free salary for all nurses, nursing assistants, and the nursing aides until December 2025. So until December next year, the nurses, nursing assistants, and the nursing aides will have a 5% additional tax-free salary. All right. There will be VAT relief for domestic consumers of electricity up to 250 units. Continued indefinitely. Let me read that again. VAT relief for domestic consumers of electricity up to 250 units. Continued indefinitely. Duty-free concessions on cement extended indefinitely. We know this one: 104 national scholarships, national exhibitions, special awards, and bursaries to be issued at a $30 million EC cost. 2,000 tuition scholarships were issued. The government will pay student loans. The government will pay student loans for December 2024 at a cost of $200,000. And the interest rate is now 4.5%. Student loans interest rate is 4.5%.
And this is for the economically disadvantaged persons who have been keeping up with their payments.
Yes, so, that part, yes. All primary and secondary school teachers and second-year students at the SPGCC will receive free new laptop, a laptop for everyone. I said that word intentionally. They're all gonna get a laptop. You get a laptop. You get a laptop, and you get a laptop. Right, for 2025, all teachers, all primary and secondary school teachers, government teachers, and government assisted primary and secondary teachers, as well as second year students at the community college, they're all going to get a laptop at a cost of $3 million EC dollars. But that's next year. You're waiting until next year to get the laptop. All right. Also, there is a special cost of living allowance of $175 per month for vulnerable households. Okay, for vulnerable households. Duty-free concessions on barrels, which was already in place, I believe, will continue until the last day of January next year. Okay, so organize your time, count your time, track now how long the barrel is gonna take to send, so you could calculate how much time you have before the concessions end. Okay, hope your barrel don't reach February the 1st. I go sorry for you. All right. There is also increased allowances for particular categories of public employees. You're going to get a little extra on your money, including aggrieved police officers, junior doctors, and some others. And one thing I forgot to mention, I probably should have mentioned this first. The officers that worked, the whole ICC, remember we had the whole ICC debate, well, not was it a debate?
Conversation.
But the conversation going on about the non-payment of those police officers. I'm not a really official thing for you, but they're gonna get something. Something is being worked on for them. After all, I'm so happy for them. When I heard that Roleza, I was
sharing my thoughts after.
But I hope that it's sufficient. But I am glad that they're getting something. So we can see, but I'm glad that they're getting something still. All right, so over to you.
All right, so just my takeaways, right? I won't go into full details with everything. I suppose the question is, were our expectations fulfilled? And of course, when these independence goodies come out, it's not necessarily a case where everybody or every citizen of SVG is necessarily going to benefit from it, right? Yeah. One of the things that I think many of us or many persons would benefit from is those who have family living overseas who are going to send barrels, right? That is something that I think the greater majority of persons can benefit from. And in this case, I'm happy to see that the deadline was extended because it now means that persons, let's say, whose families are capitalizing on the Black Friday sales or Christmas sales, they'll be able to capitalize on those sales and then be able to send barrels down to their family and friends, right? And so I'm happy to see that was extended. Now, I hear you happy about the payout regarding the 5. And remember that the figure that was worked out initially based on the rate that was out there was 800,000. Now, this 800,000 figure, PM said they revoked it. It's now down to 500,000, right? So while it is, I'm happy to hear of the announcement being made. One of the things that I picked up is that it said that it would be effected shortly. Personally, for me, saying effected shortly doesn't give me a timeline that I can work with, right?
Yes.
Because again, if you're looking at many of the goodies that were listed, there are definite timelines that were put towards them, right? You say in February of 2025, it's going to happen in December of 2024, etc., etc. Saying effected shortly does not please me or suit me in any way, right? So, I mean, yes, it was announced, but when is it actually going to be given to them is another question. One of the things that I always have to look at, again, this is the second independence that I'm noting it, is that in this case, so the police officers who worked at ICC it's stated that they're going to get something. I see across the board that nurses are benefiting. Across the board, teachers are benefiting. This isn't an across-the-board situation where police officers are going to benefit, right?
Correct.
So I'm not knocking the goodies that were mentioned, but again, I have to ask, police, while you do, right? While you do, right?
Boy,
because I noticed that this is the second time. It may have happened before, but it's the second time that I'm actually paying attention to it and noticing that across the board, police officers haven't gotten anything. The other thing that I have to look at is that in the past, now, yes, it is that I don't know what government funds are, if they're able to do certain things, etc., how much money they have at their disposal. When I have to look at situations of hardworking civil servants, In the past, we would have had, let's say, civil servants and even those in statutory organizations would have benefited from a Christmas bonus. Across the board, everybody used to get something, right? Now that doesn't happen. Now, while it is that many times that many of us will make comments about the civil service persons, not everybody working effectively, not everybody performing, this and that. We generally have a view of persons who work within the government sector. But the reality of it is that there are many persons within the government sector who are actually working hard.
Yeah, that's true.
And the other thing is that I'm looking at, where is their reward? Where do they benefit? How do they benefit? Now, again, I'm not going to say that it's a case where government has this set of money at their disposal. But when you think about goodies and persons, maybe citizens benefiting, how much across the board are persons benefiting? You see certain categories of workers getting certain things. Of course, the disadvantaged persons are those who are not in a financially economic stable position or who are receiving a consistent salary that they are okay, I got distracted a second, that they are benefiting from these initiatives, right? And of course, I'm never going to knock that. Those who are disadvantaged, they should benefit from things happening or initiatives put in place. But it's like, well, poor person's excited about the announcements, right? Again, one of the things that I would always say is that I'm happy to see is anything in relation to education, because education is a way out of changing the circumstances of your life. So in terms of the increase in the awards given and these tuition scholarships, etc., I'm happy to see that. Persons who are going to benefit from that one-off relief in terms of repayment of student loan for the month of December, I'm happy for that, right? But is it a case where nationally, because like for somebody like me, nothing inside of this I benefited from, right? And it's not that I am expecting anything because of the fact that I am private. I work privately, so I am not necessarily expecting anything.
The barrel is for you.
The barrel is for me, but I don't have to find somebody to send a barrel for me.
Go catch a flight, go over there, pack a barrel, send you and come back and collect.
I come back excited and say, oh, I get a barrel. All right. I could probably try doing that, but yeah, it's just one of those things that I see year after year, and I for those who are benefiting, happy for you. All right, I'm happy for you. But is it a case where across the board that many persons, and let's say the greater majority, are benefiting? I can't say yes, I can't say no, but I'm more leaning towards the no. But that's my piece on it. Three things for me. One, thank you, Anne, in advance for the barrel. Thank you very much. Thank you. All right, sorry to cut you off.
No, that's okay. One, I don't ever expect anything from these bodies, these groups. I don't ever expect anything because I know exactly how they operate, and I try
what do you mean? Who's it? They these
like
bodies?
you see, like
mean? Call name.
Governments and other bodies like governments. I don't expect things like that from them. I don't live in that expectation.
What do you mean?
Because I don't know.
You don't expect what from them in terms of
you see, like how these goodies, and we were preparing to. We were waiting to hear what the prime minister was going to announce at these. To be honest, I'm not one of those persons who will be sitting down at home and say, yeah, boy, I can't wait to hear what it, because for me, it is what it is.
Oh, okay.
Whatever you say, it is what it is. That's one.
All
Two,
right.
I look at the things that or the goodies, as we say, and not just from Sunday, but looking at several other things as well. And anytime I hear governments and other bodies, such bodies announce certain things, I always look at when is election. And if election is very close, I just consider it as election.
Well, I mean,
things, and I don't make it dwell, because I want to say after election is done, is it going to be the same thing, or that just for another few years until we get close to election again, and then we hear some wonderful things, and then we go back to normal and election get close, just like other day.
Let's be fair to the governments and the announcements that's being made, that they announce independence goodies every year.
Yes,
so it's even directly after an elections having one that they would make the announcement. So it's not necessarily to entice persons to vote. I think you'll get that later, but I don't think independence goodies are for that.
Not all, not all of them. I will be referring to be honest, not all of them, but yeah. And the third thing, I was gonna say, what was the third thing? I don't remember. Let me give you an example. The other day, right, I saw Guyana post some lovely things. They're gonna give everybody this amount of money.
Dianna,
This gonna do
I
that.
feel like I wanted to quote
and
unquote
this
last
gonna
year.
do that. And I was like, oh my God, this is so wonderful. And then I
Do
look
we
and I
have
was like,
Guyana money?
no, I ain't talking about the goodies. No, no,
Uh-huh.
I was referring to looking at the goodies and thinking, yeah, this is so wonderful. But then I looked and see the election is close. I'm like, oh, that's probably why I ain't so excited
Yeah,
anymore.
but Guyana also has the money now where they could do it.
No, I'm talking about the money and giving out the tools. I'm talking about the thing you're doing at the time when you're doing it. Not about the amount of money. I don't care about the amount of money and all of this and the extent of the goodies. That's not what I'm looking at. Just when certain
timing.
things are being done.
But I
That's
mean,
it for
but
me.
again, it goes back to the point number 2, where these goodies it's not necessarily close to elections. They're given out every year.
Right.
So even directly after an election.
Sorting things.
You have something specific in mind that you're talking about in relation
we
to
leave
the
it
list?
at that. Let me leave it at that. One of the concerns though that persons have that I am just looking at is the amount of money being spent and where it is coming from. And who, who, what, if, when, where, how, why, and all of this. So we just looking on. I forget my third point I was gonna say. Oh, my old brain. We'll come back.
All right. So remember that in a few minutes we're going to jump into an interview. We're going to have an interview with a few creatives this morning. So don't you go anywhere. We'll be right back. And
oh yes, and it is 8:09. It is VG, and our time check came to us with the kind compliments of New Haven Funeral.